everybody to Clueless Vino, the show where we use wine typically as a vehicle for conversation, and it's the only place you can legally drink and drive. Today, I have a good friend, man, from Twitter, the Twitterverse, Mike Jackson, man. What's up, bro?
Spot with you, man.
Hey, man. You know, just trying to get through the work week. That's all.
I feel you. Hey, thanks for having me here, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, bro. You know, we met. We'll get into how we met or whatever, but you know, you're one of the more interesting characters I have on on my timeline.
Nice, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. This is the part of the show where I usually let the guests, you know, tell the people about yourself. So the floor is yours, man.
All right. So what's going on, y'all? Name's Mike Jackson. What's really special about me? Not much, you know what I mean? I'm on social media. I say some random things every now and again. I guess you could say quote unquote entertainer. Like I do music, I rap, I make sketches. But I randomly just talk about whatever is interesting at the time. So, you know, I'm an everyday person, but sometimes, you know, people like to say, hey, he's that guy. And I'm like everybody else, man. So
yeah. So we're part of a clique, kind of.
Right.
We have a nice little group chat on Twitter. For our very shared favorite artist, Charles Hamilton, which we'll talk about obviously later.
Okay.
But yeah, like you know, we gotten close over the years. I feel like how long have we been in that group now that I think about it?
When you say that group, and here's the thing where, you know, I might be telling on myself, like rule number 1, Fight Club. Which group are you talking about? The Twitter group, or are you talking about the Facebook group? You know what I mean?
To the group.
Twitter group?
Yeah.
Man, that Twitter group, it's, to be honest, I'd probably be trying to scroll through all the messages and see like how long it's been, but I want to at least say like 2015 or something like that, because you know that's when like Charles came back, he got signed again. But like I'm gonna just say 2015. So let's say 7 years, just a lucky number 7.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that. I like number 7. But yeah, like you know, we all like pop in every now and again, check on stuff, like to check in on Charles, talk about Charles music or whatever.
Right.
And you know, you always have like something. You know what's the best thing about you is like you're very honest and blunt. Like you don't like filter nothing out. Oh,
not at all.
It's just straight to the point. No, you know, no fluff. Just you know, straight to the gut.
Exactly. That's me, man. So.
So before we get started, man, you know, normally we do wine here. That's, you know, my whole journey was to try to get some wine stuff. But, you know, I like to expand, you know, let people feel comfortable with what they're drinking. And you decided to go with a nice little classic, man.
Yes, sir. Classic, man.
We're doing Captain Morgan, guys.
Oh, hold up. Let me same bottle. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Doing Captain Morgan, guys. You know, Captain Morgan and Coke. Is this like your go-to drink normally?
Yeah, it's actually funny because I kind of want to talk about this if we have the time later to talk about it. But originally when I first started drinking, because I was like late when it came to drinking. So like I didn't know what to drink. Like I would, you know, everyone else was drinking already, you know, like 17, 18, all that. And I didn't know what to drink. So I had to go through a bunch of drinks. So I got to one point where like a local bar, they were like, hey, we're doing Jack and Cokes for $6 on one night. We're doing Captain and Cokes for $6 on another night. Yeah. And I started with Jack and Coke and then went with Captain. And I'm like, this is actually, I like this. So, and ever since then, you know, that's been my twist. Now I drink other stuff. Right. I won't drink other stuff, but like if I'm going to go somewhere like neutral that I've never been, my safe drink or my safe bet is Captain and Coke. So
okay. Now I'm trying to remember because, like, again, speaking back to that Twitter group that we have, I think me and you are close in the same age, right?
Mm-hmm. I think like technically, I think I'm not sure if Julian's still in the group or whatever, but like technically I'd be the oldest. I'm pretty sure. So because I'm 33. So.
Yeah, and your birthday before mine. I'm 33 too. But I feel like BA's older than us though.
Oh, my bad. BA, yes. BA is older.
Yeah. I feel like BA's older than us, and then it's you, and then it's me.
Yeah, you know what it is? Because, BA really don't say much. And then when he does, it's always the LOL. It would be something that, it's something that, Arab Austin says, and then he'll just be like, LOL. And I'm like, I know, not saying BA wants to say something because, BA has kids, family man, and all that. But I feel like sometimes he's just like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's interesting because like me and you kind of have like a similar path as far as drinking. Like I didn't do the high school thing either. Depending on where you went to school, like there's always your typical high school movie type things. Like, oh, the kids are having a house party and there's beer everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
My parents was not letting me get anywhere near those houses, dog, at all.
it's crazy.
So I would have to like sneak stuff. So like some of the stuff I would sneak with like wine, like in the house. If it was wine in the house, quick sip to see how it is.
Right.
And then college. It's like you said, you have to test out stuff, and it's just an experiment. It's just an experiment phase until you find what you like. It's funny that we did Captain because in college, one of the things we did like rum. Like rum was our thing. We get rum all the time.
Right.
But in college, you kind of have to save a few bucks, so you have to cut a few corners. So instead of Captain Morgan, we got Sir Francis Drake.
What is that?
That's the bottom shelf one. And it was so cheap, dog, that we would just get it by the like 3-4 bottles at once and like shots of it. And I'm like, I think back now, I'm like, yo, dog, why were we doing this?
Hey man, like you said, it was cheap. You didn't have the money, so it's like you gotta go with what you know. So everyone has those stories because, like, let's say for me, like I said, once I found out Captain Coke, I'm like, this is great. I actually had a situation, I think it was last year, where I went to not really a local bar, but it's like down the road from me that I don't normally go to. And it was my friend's mom that works there. I'm like, yeah, let me get a Captain Coke. She's like, hey, we don't got Captain. We got Sailor Jerry. I'm like, what is Sailor Jerry? I'm like, what is that? She's like, it tastes kind of like that. And no, it doesn't. It does not. It does not at all. The best way I can explain it is if anyone has gone to like let's say like Costco or Sam's Club or anything like that, where you get the name brand rum or something like that, that's what it tastes like. If you're specific where you want this type of alcohol, you have to go with that type of alcohol. It does not taste the same at all. So
I don't know what it is about like when, and I get it, like you kind of want to keep a theme going, but why is every like rum like some type of pirate or some shit, some type of nautical, like what I'm saying, like name Sir Francis, Captain Morgan, Sailor Jerry. That's a wild name, by the way.
It is, and think about it, like with Dr. Pepper, because you know how it's like with Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb, Dr. Lightning,
Dr. Perky, Dr. Thunder, yeah.
It's like the same thing, and honestly, it's just people trying to like ride the coattails, I guess you could say, off of a certain name to be like, well, it's kind of like that. Like you hear something doctor, so that's the only way I could think of it. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, I just cutting corners in college was just. I get it. I know why we did it because we didn't have that much money, but it's like. Just a couple extra bucks, get a bigger bottle. We could have made it work, man.
Yeah. Honestly, real quick before you move on, I'm not sure if you guys had like other than that, I'm not sure if you guys had a certain drink that like everyone drank, when they were younger, like high school or college. But I remember for vodka, everyone had New Amsterdam, peach New Amsterdam.
Okay.
That was like the go-to for everyone, and I didn't know why. And then I got older, I'm like, why were y'all drinking this? This is horrible.
Awful.
This is not good at all.
But, so ours wasn't New Amsterdam. Ours was Burnett's.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, Burnett's. Burnett's was like a rite of passage. Like you get the freshman year, like it's like, listen, can I get this? No, you have to drink Burnett's. You have to get through it, and once you get through it, then you can graduate to whatever. But you had to drink Burnett's.
Yeah, Burnett's. Awful. Burnett's. That's wild.
Awful. Jeez. Totally awful. But we used to do like crazy. Like I don't know why this happened. It's crazy to think about, and I wish I could just go back in time and just tell myself, don't do this. But we drank Cisco for a little bit.
Cisco.
Yes.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. Cisco. We had Mad Dog a few times.
Heard Mad Dog. I never had it, but I've heard of it. So
We did like 40s. We did like Hurricane 40s. Like it was just like I'm like, bro, like what are we doing?
I got one that might be able to beat all of them. So most people have never heard of it, and if you heard of it, you know. If you've never heard of it, don't try it. Please don't. Like this is one of those don't try this at home things.
Yeah.
I think there are two vodkas. One was I don't know if it's pronounced this way, but Pavov or Popov. It's like Popov. That
Oh,
when you say bottom shelf,
yeah.
I'm talking like rubbing alcohol. Like I remember someone was drinking it and they had like orange juice and that it just tastes like someone just had orange juice and rubbing alcohol in the same drink. It doesn't make it better. There's nothing you could put in it to make it better.
Oh,
And then Crystal Palace, that is disgusting too. That is no. Like those are whenever it comes to like super bottom shelf, it's like don't ever in your life disrespect your liver or your life like
that.
that. Love yourself, honestly.
So
Please.
I saw you tweak though. So I'm gonna ask you this question and
Mhm.
let's see if you can pick one. Would you rather have one or two of those or any gin?
God, that's no gin. I
Yeah.
hate gin, but I can tell you with Popov, never again. That's literally like never again. Like if
Yeah.
someone said, "Hey, if it was like you can never drink again except for that," I'll never drink again.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Gin is horrible. Gin is gin. You know, but the only time I think I really remember having gin, and I didn't know because it's like when I first started drinking.
Yeah.
I was at a house party, and this girl had a bottle. Everyone, they had beer, and I'm not a beer drinker. I
Mhm.
drink, I drink liquor, either
Yeah.
shots or I mix it. She had a bottle of what is it? Bombay. I
Mhm.
think yeah, she had a bottle of Bombay. So I'm like, hey, let me get a shot. And I was going to be generous because most people, if you're carrying a whole bottle, I'm not going to just take your bottle and
Right.
swig it crazy. I'm like, let me get like a real quick. So she's like, yeah, I got to pour it for you. I'm like, okay. She's like just going crazy, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't want this much. Jeez, this
Yeah.
is So like gin, no, like I'd rather not. But between those, gin, definitely gin. I'll take some gin.
I feel you. I feel you. So you are from Delaware, correct?
Dover, Delaware. Yes, sir.
Oh, you very specific. All right, all right.
Born and raised, Dover, Delaware.
Okay. All right, let's get the first one out the way. Is your reason you're being very specific?
Yeah, really, because I'm just being, an asshole, I guess. But because this is the thing. So with Delaware, we're the first state, but no one knows where we are. There's this one post, I don't think I shared it, but we're ranked last in nightlife of all the states.
Yeah.
Delaware is ranked last, dead last in all the states. But Dover is the capital. But it's crazy because if you've seen Dover and you were around Dover, most people think Wilmington is the capital because they have more of a nightlife. They have more the radio stations, all that type of stuff going on. They have, if anything's going to go on, it's going to be there. Here in Dover, we don't have much, but it's still, I guess you could say our claim to fame. Like, hey, we're still the first state, and we're still, the capital. That's but other than that, no real reason. I'll be honest.
Got you. So that was gonna be my question. Like, I know that Delaware is. I feel like Delaware is like fighting Wyoming for like most inconspicuous state like in America. So like
Man,
what is it about Delaware? Because like you said, you were born and raised there and you haven't left. So like what is that keep you there in Dover?
so I will say this. Number one, this is not the number one reason technically, but taxes, state taxes, like like sales tax, we don't have any. So it's always
Nice.
that culture shock. So let's say I go to Maryland, right? Or I go to Philly, I
Yeah.
buy something. Hey, it's like three extra dollars more. And you guys, this is the wrong price. It's supposed to be this. They're like, there's sales tax. I'm like, oh, and they look at us stupid, and then I say, hey, I'm from Delaware. We don't have sales tax, so
Yeah.
it's. And then they're like, oh, okay, I got you. So other than that, honestly, people won't believe it, but I'll say this: Delaware isn't that bad. Like, but there's stuff where it's boring, it's not that great, but it's really not that bad of a place. Because for me personally, it's like, what more do people want technically? Because for me, living in Dover, so for example, when I go out during the weekends, I'm like kind of like smack dab in the middle. So let's say if I want to go to the beach, like Rehoboth, Dewey, and see the nightlife there, like 45 minutes away. If I want to go like to Wilmington, it's like an hour away. That's not far. If I want to go to Philly, Philly's an hour away. Depending somewhere in Maryland, let's say Maryland might be an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It's like I don't live that far away from most stuff, whatever. Also, probably the real biggest reason is because my job is here. You know what I mean? My job's like 10 minutes away from here. Yeah. So it's like a lot of people say, oh, well, why don't you just get a job somewhere else? It's like, and start over. You know what I mean? Like, it's different if I can transfer to another state. But at the same time, I got to figure out how to move and this and that. Delaware, the biggest thing I notice is people that want to move, they either move to Texas, they move to Florida. Those are like the top two.
Yeah.
And my thing is this: if you want to go somewhere where it's more sunny, more I don't want to say stable, but more vibrant, I guess you could say, understandable. But most people they move because they're like, there's too much drama in Delaware, and then they move to another state, and then there's so much drama here. It's like, that's you.
Yeah,
you are
the drama.
You are legit the drama. It's not anyone else. It's you. But really, it's like it's a thing where if I thought about it, if people ask me, hey, if you could move anywhere tomorrow, like no issues, no money issues, just get up and go, where would you go? Honestly, I wouldn't know. Yeah. I honestly wouldn't know, because I mean, there's places I could go, but I'm like, where I don't have like an itch or inkling to be like, yo, I want to be in Florida. I want to be in New York. I want to be, in Philly. Like, I mean, I could just travel there. You know what I mean? I could travel there and come back home. So I think that's what it really is. Like, I don't really have a real itching to leave. So I'm okay with it here. It's fine with me personally.
Now, when I think of Delaware, because I remember when I was in high school, I think when I was getting recruited for basketball, Wilmington University was one of the schools that was like trying to recruit me or whatever. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, because I'm from the Eastern Shore of Virginia, so like it's real quiet there, like, but it's close knit, so like people kind of know your business and shit.
Yeah. But that's Delaware, honestly. That's Delaware.
Yeah. So I was like, do I really want to do that again? Like, really? And that's why I was thinking, like, I was like, it's gonna be close knit. I feel like everybody's gonna know my business. And I was thinking, like, what would there be to do? I feel like it's quiet. Would you say that's the case? Is it like quiet in Delaware?
So here's the biggest thing about that. So, and with you, it's different. You saying that, people here in Delaware, they will classify like one city or two cities or like the county as the whole Delaware. And I'm like, bro, like there's so much more. Yeah. Like, and that now, compared to other states, it's probably considered quiet. But let's say, for example, like I said, I'm from Dover. When it comes to our nightlife, at least Dover, I could tell you it sucks. It's trash. Like, I could, like, tonight I could go downtown or whatever. Like, downtown's like 5 minutes away from me. We have like 2 or 3 bars. Literally, it's like going to a classroom with like the same 20 people, 30 people every time. And I mean, like, every night it's like the same people. Like, you're going to see the same people every single time. So like in Dover, it's trash. There's other places I can go in Dover bar wise, but it's going to be like the same people that just get up and move to different seats. In Dover, yes, but that's why I go to other places like Philly, or I might go to like Ocean City, Maryland. I might go to Secrets or something like that. That's another one. That's an hour away from me too. Yeah. But when it comes down to, let's say, like just Delaware, there's places you can go, but it's not as quiet as people think. It's just that a lot of people, especially from my area, they might be from Dover or Camden, maybe even Smyrna. They'll say, oh, Delaware is boring. I'm like, you don't even leave your radius. You don't even you don't even leave like 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from you, because they think that's too far. They're like, yo, a 20-minute ride is too far. I'm like, then you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to have any fun, because they're going to go to the bars like Irish Mike's and Golden Fleece. Those are the downtown bars. They're going to go there every week, be upset. Yo, it's no one here. Yo, there's no girls here. There's no this here. Like, go somewhere else then. Yeah. So, but like, I wouldn't say all of Delaware. Like, overall, we have our moments, but like Dover's trash. Dover is completely trash. I'll tell you, don't come. Don't come. Do not come to Dover. I will say that, And there's no thing where you can say, well, will you regret this in like 20 years? No.
No.
You can play it again, and I'm gonna tell you every year it sucks. Like honestly, I could show you videos that I have where you just see like 3 people at the bar, and it's just like maybe not 3. It's like really like 15, but it's still horrible. It's bad.
My fear is like when there's bars like that, and if I go often enough, I'll become like quote unquote a regular, and like they'll know my drink before I get there, and I don't like that. I don't like that because now I feel like I'm an alcoholic. I don't like that, bro.
The only time that's good is because and it's weird because I'm not sure how it is for you guys, but like certain bars that we have here, especially in Dover, some places have drink specials, some don't. So there's certain spots where, for example, I'll get a Captain of Coke at the Fleece, and that's my spot I like to go to because it's always the same price, $6. I'm okay with that. $6. All right, cool, $6. I could go to another bar that's a little bit down the road. It's called Fraser's. If I get a Captain Coke, it's $8.50. Yeah. Same drink. Let's say this cup, right? I mean, it's not going to be this cup, but it's the same content, but I got paid $2.50 more for the same drink. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So like, there's certain places where it's like, yeah, you don't want to go there too much, but at the same time, it's like when you really know the bartenders, they might give you a free drink or something like that. So it's like it's the gift and the curse, I'll tell you, because with me, there's times where I'll walk into like even bars in Newark that people know me at, and the bartenders know me, so they make my drink real quick. You'll see people that have been standing there for like 20 minutes, like, was he here earlier? No, he just walked in. How did he get his drink before me? He's a regular. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, but
it's got its perks, man. It's got its perks.
It's good and bad, but you gotta, you gotta take it how it comes.
Yeah. Well, let's transition to something that we both have in common. We both like wrestling.
Sure.
So let's kind of dive into some wrestling topics that we've, that's been going on in the world. Let's start with Vince McMahon. What a guy.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
I just like the fact that everybody was like surprised at like the scandal that's come out. Like, because if you've been watching since like 1996, 97, you're just like, like, of course.
Yeah, he did it. I mean, allegedly. Let me not say that he actually, because
the allegation, right?
We don't know, allegedly, but it's funny you even bring this up because my brother, I have 2 brothers, but my middle brother, he's 2 years older than me. So me and him was watching during the Attitude Era, like we were watching late at night and whatnot, whatever. So he brought up something about I guess someone talked to him about, yo, man, y'all blah years old and still watching wrestling. And I'm like, oh, that's what people do, whatever. He's part of that, trying to still be cool. Like, yeah, I used to watch it back in the day. But I said to him, I'm like, yeah, do you know what's going on with Vince? And he's like, I kind of heard about it. I'm like, do you know what really happened though? He's like, nah. I'd explained the situation and said, yo, like this, I mean, we don't know if he really did it or not, but you remember like what we see on TV, like all the crazy stuff he was doing. I'm like, honestly, like I think he's going to get thrown under the jail. If you're asking me, I think he's going to get thrown under the jail. Like if it really goes down like that. So
depending on what they would uncover in that investigation, like he could be. This could be like this. It's almost like he got away with like the steroid scandal, and he got off free off that. And like guys, like, listen, I saw that little match you had with your son and Shawn Michaels. I saw that. That was funny. But now I'm coming back from my revenge, big dog.
He's like, yo, you gotta go for that one. He's like, look, you gotta go. What I told my brother was because this is what I think that happens with a lot of you say celebrities or entertainers or whatever you want to call them. A lot of times, especially in the 90s, especially late 90s, if something came out about Vince, you couldn't touch them. They're the biggest thing. And then I was like, well, now that when everyone gets older, because what Vince like 70 or something like that, I don't know, he's up there. So it's like I feel like they wait until they get like super old, and then they're just like, oh, you know what? Now we're going to hit you with a book. We're going to hit you with 2 books, 3 books. We're going to hit you with the whole enchilada. And then after that, it's like they might say, yo, we're going to put you in jail for like 45 years. He's not well, Vince might live for 45 years because he's not dying. He that man's just not dying ever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, like they hit people with the book, and then they're just like, damn, why did they wait so long? And then they wait for a whole mountain of evidence just to hit you with it, and then it's just like, wow, damn. So,
and the thing, listen, again, allegations, all this is alleged. He's innocent until proven guilty, which is fine.
Correct.
Now, most people do one of two things. They either go away completely and just be like, you know what, let me get out of the spotlight until this is handled. Or they go out real quick, say, hey, the allegations against me are completely false, and I look forward to my day in court.
Right.
What Vince is doing is totally different. 2 days in a row, this man has gone to the ring and has basically said 2 sentences and just left the ring. Nothing about the allegations, nothing that really makes any sense. Just going, say hello, and I'm out. He's nuts. Yep. He's nuts.
That's Vince, though. I mean, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but that's I guess how Vince does things, especially nowadays. Just like okay, what was that? Like, I didn't really expect him to say anything about the allegations, but I figured like maybe in a sly way he would have like mentioned it, but I think no, just nothing. Just like he just like what did he say? I think on Monday he was like, oh yeah, John Cena, he 20-year anniversary. You know what I mean? Hey.
This man said today is the 1,517th episode of Raw. I'm like, that's not an anniversary. That's not an anniversary
at all. No, incorrect. It's not.
Oh my God, this man is nuts, man. Oh God, I depending on what the actual thing, the investigation shows, I hope that the victims get what they need or whatever. And if Vince is guilty, Vince is guilty, bro. Like,
because at the end of the day, it's like, when I was talking to my brother about it, because like I said, I told him like, yo, it's alleged. We don't know if he actually did that or not. It's one of those things where he's like, well, what about the hush money thing or whatever? I'm like, well, you can't do that. He's like, well, he was like, what if the other person was, they wanted to do that? I'm like, it doesn't matter if they wanted to do it or not. If someone's the boss and someone is the employee, you can't have that type of relationship, allegedly, and you can't pay anyone hush money for anything. That's illegal. It's not. That part is
a bribe.
Yeah, no, it's a bribe. So I'm like, yeah, bro, you can't do that at all. It doesn't matter who you are. You just can't do that ever. So
made a good point too about how like people, they always ask, oh, you still watch wrestling? That's, it's fake. And I'm like, you realize that TV shows and movies are all fake. Like they realize that, right?
They do, but it's one of those things you can never win with that. Speaking of that, I gotta show you something. Give me a second, because it has to do with the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
And this is, me showing my age, but it made me mad because, of course, everyone that's around our age, they could be like, oh, I don't watch it no more, but I watched it back then with Stone Cold and The Rock and da-da-da-da. So check this out real quick, all right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see this, but this jersey, right?
Nice.
So it's Bret Hart, Bret the Hitman Hart jersey.
I love that, yeah.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. So there's a story about that. All right, so I got that from Chalkline. This is not sponsored by Chalkline or anything like that. I'm not sponsored by Chalkline. I don't want any beef or nothing like that. But I wore that maybe, I want to say 2 weeks ago. I went out, wore it 2 weeks ago, and so many people were complimenting me on it because, one, it's pink, because some dudes are just like, yo, dudes out here wearing pink, that's crazy. But but still, there are a lot of people that knew. They just said, yo, that jersey, yo, Bret Hart, yo, that's one of my favorites. And because he's my favorite of all time. If you ask me, my favorite of all time, Bret Hart. But what happened was some dude came up to me. He's like, who's that? Who's Bret Hart? Is he like, and I swear to you, this is what he said. He said, who's Bret Hart? Is he like Kevin Hart? I'm like, so I'm like Kevin Hart. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you don't know who Bret Hart is? And that's kind of me being, I'm being biased because that's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, okay, so you don't know who Bret Hart is? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, so you know Shawn Michaels because it's Shawn Michaels. I'm like, you know who Shawn Michaels is, right? He said, who?
Whew. That's
I'm
so
like,
for two.
how do you not know Shawn Michaels? If you want a Bret Hart guy, you were at least a Shawn Michaels guy. So I'm like,
Right.
Stone Cold, The Rock, and he's like, oh yeah, I know those guys. But I'm like, you know Stone Cold, you know The Rock, but somehow you don't know Bret or Shawn at all. How?
That's
How do you
that's
not?
they intertwine. So it's not like it's that far off. Like it's like 20 years or nothing. They're in the same
Yeah,
generation.
yeah. And I'm like, are you serious? So, and there's people that I made a post about this on Facebook. I'm like, yo, how did he not know? And then there's guys like, well, Stone Cold, obviously he's the biggest draw in wrestling. Of course, people know him. That's fine. But then people are like, The Rock, he's a movie star now and all that.
Right.
I'm like, that's fine. But we're not talking about Val Venus or D'Lo Brown, no disrespect to them.
Yeah,
But
shout out to them.
we're talking, yeah, exactly. We're talking about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. They're not chump change.
Arguably
They're
two of the best workers of all time. Maybe one and two for a lot of people.
right. So
I think mainly it's because they were more seen for their in-ring skill versus their character work, right?
right.
Sean's character work was better than Brett's for sure. Because Brett's junk was
I,
just strictly, I am the best wrestler ever. Like that was Bret Hart's entire like character, and he backed it up everywhere he went. So sure, Sean's was more like I'm this egotistical pretty boy, da da da. Then he gets into DX, and he's like a rambunctious boy. You know what I'm saying? And then so that I can kind of get it. Stone Cold and Rock were like boisterous characters. They came off the screen better. You know what I'm saying? So in a way,
right.
I sort of get it, but it's still Bret the Hitman Hart. That's inexcusable.
Exactly. I'm just like, come on, man. But at the same time, I mean, that's just how it is. I think that's just us getting older because I'm pretty sure there's people that, when let's say like the Macho Man Randy Savage was one of those top guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the younger guys like, who's Macho Man Randy Savage? And then it's just like, so I think we're starting to get to that age where the younger people have no idea who Shawn and Bret are, and they might not even know they might not even know of the Austin 316 promo. They might not know of when The Rock became The Rock because he used to be Rocky Maivia. So we're getting to that point where they don't know any of that stuff and stuff. They were probably being born right when the Attitude Era happened, so they didn't watch it. They weren't sitting there watching it. So
yeah, that is true. I get it. I don't like that we're getting to that age though. That's kind of rough. But I understand it. I understand it. What's your thoughts on this Sasha Banks thing, man?
Oh man, Sasha Banks, man. So it's mixed feelings, I guess you could say, because number one, she's definitely, out of the four horsewomen, definitely one of the best workers out of all of them. It's one of those things where I don't want to say, her attitude is too big for her britches, because there's a lot of people saying she's being unprofessional.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, well, if you're saying that, okay, what about the Brock Lesnar thing? What about Stone Cold when he walked out? There's been multiple
Charlotte Flair throwing the belt on the ground, a lot of different things.
Yeah, there's multiple times when other people have been quote unquote unprofessional, but you guys are only giving her flack because of it. And it's a thing where at the end of the day, I feel like with Sasha, she knows and understands her worth. Mm-hmm. And if she feels like she's not being valued, then if she wants to, not saying she is leaving, or because there's a lot of people that keep saying, oh yeah, she's fired. Yeah, they got rid of her. I'm like, yeah, no one has actually specifically said it. It's just quote unquote rumors going around. Until I see the WWE actual Twitter account or whoever say WWE has came to terms with Mercedes. But other than that, I'm not going to say she's released. But if she feels that she's not being valued enough, then she needs to leave. And not saying I want her to leave, but I don't like the thing that they were going to do before, where apparently they were going to have that 6-woman match or whatever, and then it was apparently Naomi was supposed to win and face Bianca, and Sasha was going to win something on SmackDown, I guess, and then face Ronda, and then they were both going to lose. And it's like, what's the point of them being tag team champions? Like, what's the whole point of that? Like, and it sucks because, it was Sasha and Bailey originally that were like campaigning for it, saying, hey, the women should have a tag team, championship. They should have titles because there's so many women here. Let's build them up. Let's build the roster up. You're not doing anything else with anyone else.
Yep.
But you know how Vince is with tag team championships. Vince hates tag teams, splits them up for no reason ever. So it's one of those things where it's like, it kind of sucks because they were trying to do a good thing and then it still didn't work out, but overall, I'll say this, and also with Naomi too, because obviously she's part of that tag team.
Yep.
If they feel like, and I like the solidarity that they came together on that. It wasn't a thing so far being like, oh, Sasha's doing this, and then Naomi was like, oh, well, I wasn't about that. I didn't say any of this. I didn't say anything. Right. It's like, you got to stick together with your people. They were with Team Bad originally, Tamina.
Yep, Tamina.
So, I love that because regardless, win, lose, or draw, it's like, well, I'm riding with my girl, I'm riding with my person, my people. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So
yeah, those tag team titles have been cursed basically since day one, because it's just a lot of promises and just never fulfilled. They were supposed to go to NXT, then NXT just got their own, and then Sasha and Bailey lost them within 2 months, and then the Kabuki Warriors have been the best tag team since the inception.
I almost forgot that even was a team. Real rap, like
they really just got put together because they're both Japanese. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, let's just keep it a buck. But they made the best out of it, and they had the best matches to me. My thing is, WWE always harps on like we had the biggest stars, we had the biggest stars, we had the biggest stars. Other than Roman Reigns, you could argue, and John Cena obviously, but he's in and out, so I don't really count him per se too much.
Yeah.
But other than Roman Reigns, you can't name another person on that roster who has the crossover appeal like Sasha Banks. Like she's tailor-made to do acting and to do all these things outside of what's called, and that's what you want. That's what you have over like promotions like AEW right now. Like you have people that right now can go out and get their own shows or go and get big movie star roles or whatever. That's what you have. Right. You're just willing to just give that up because she doesn't like the way you're writing her characters and her stories.
Right.
That's weird for a company that always says we do what's best for business. It's funny how they never do what's best for business.
I think for them, it's just a tagline. A lot of things they try to find something that's catchy, kind of like the Awesome 316 thing, whatever. They say, oh, that's a tagline, boom, that's money, and we're going to just keep saying it. They don't say it because they believe it. They just say it because it probably could print money, and it's just something that they can go behind. I think that's what it is, because like you said, with the tag team champions that they had, and even though they weren't like great wrestlers, but who it was the Iconics. They beat Sasha and Bailey, and they weren't the greatest wrestlers, but you could print money with them because they could work well on the microphone. They were that you didn't like, but they broke them up too. Just there's so much stuff that, like you said, they do. They say they're going to do this, and then they never do it. And all they're worried about is, like I said, Roman. They're worried about Brock because Brock makes the money. Didn't Brock just come back recently? Whatever. Yeah. So it's just like Brock just came back. Other than that, so you got Roman. You could kind of say Cena, even though he's in and out. Brock, even though he's in and out. Other than that, you had Cody, because he came from AEW and made himself a star, but he's gonna be gone for like 9 months now. You don't have anyone else. You don't, and then of course,
no, they do. You know who their go-to is.
Oh yeah.
Charlotte Flair herself.
I didn't want. I hate mentioning her because I hate mentioning her because not that, because I will say this: no matter how much I don't like her, she is a great wrestler. You know what I mean?
Greatest. One of the greatest in-ring talents that they've had.
Exactly. But it's that same thing. They pushed her down everyone's throats, and we talked about it before previously on Twitter, where it was she was like a 15-time champion or something like that. Then they stripped 3 titles away because they didn't want her to reach 16-time champion that quick. And it's like,
Yeah.
you guys had her and Sasha, they were hot potatoing back in 2016, back and forth, whatever. And then it's like Charlotte already, you know, within those couple years was already like a 6-time champion. It's like no one's ever reached it that quickly. You know, if you look at like people like The Rock, I think The Rock's like a 10-time champion or something like that, 11-time, whatever. Stone Cold is a 6-time, I think, 6 or 7-time champion his whole career. People like Bret and Shawn are like 5 and 6 or whatever. You know, people didn't reach that type of number like that. Someone like Triple H, he's been a long time champion, but he's actually been wrestling for like 20, 30 something years. So that makes sense for him.
Yeah.
All the other people, it's like, yeah, I've been wrestling for 10 years and somehow I'm a 30-time champion. It's like, what are y'all doing? You guys need to, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop it. You need to figure out another way of doing what you're doing.
Yeah, the bookend isn't great, but we've always talked about that. The bookend's not the greatest.
No, it's not. I mean, when the problem is they'll get something and it might be great or it's good, and then they find some way to ruin it. Let's add this to it. No, don't add anything to it. It's fine. It's fine how it is. Just keep it how it is. They're like, nah, I think we need it, and then it goes down the drain, kind of. So it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's WWE though, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into our guy. Let's get into Charles Hamilton, man.
CH the great
Charles Hamilton, man.
So
give me your origin of finding Charles Hamilton music. What is your origin story?
I've been waiting for this, honestly, because how do I start with this? So I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes, the Spark Notes version. So this is actually how I found him, and believe it or not, I actually didn't like him when I first not met him but heard of him. And not that I didn't like his music. I liked his music. I didn't like his attitude. But you know how Charles is, his attitude, you know, it rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
Right.
So like I said earlier in the beginning when I introduced myself, I make music. So what happened? It was 2008. You know when everyone had a Millie remix or whatever?
Yeah.
Came out. So this is before that happened. I remember when I first heard it, and I'm talking about the original version where it was Lil Wayne and Corey Guns. I remember I'm like, yo, man, I need to get that beat and I need to rap on it. I found the beat, I wrote to it, and I was about to go to the studio the next day to record my version. And literally it was like 5 other people that recorded on it. I think like Jay-Z and 4 other people, whatever. And then like the day after I recorded it, it was like 20 other people. And then like the whole Neo rapped on it. Will Smith had a version, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, but I already recorded it. I'm like, I gotta just put my version out and just see what it does. And so on YouTube, this is back when they didn't have the algorithms and all those ads and whatnot, whatever. They had that 5-star system. And my thing was like, okay, I'm gonna promote it to whoever I can, and whatever it does is what it does. And how I used to promote, I used to like spam comment. I would go on everyone's Millie remix or whatever and say, hey, you know, this is hot, whatever. But to the people I actually thought was actually good, I'm like, hey, this is a good version, but check out my version. I think mine's good too. So Drake. This is when he was still Aubrey Degrassi. This is the Degrassi Aubrey Drake, you know. He had a version, and I'm like, is that Drake? I mean, not Drake, but I'm like, is that
Jimmy?
Jimmy? Is that Jimmy? I'm like, he raps. I'm like, this is fire, but yo, when did he start rapping? I'm like, yo. But, so I got to because what happened was, you know, I'm going like literally down the list, the most popular versions to the least popular versions and whatnot. And I'm getting to like the 40,000, 20,000 view range or whatever. I found Asher Ross, and I'm like, oh, white guy that can actually rap. Okay. I seen Drake's version, and then I see Charles, and I'm like, and I had the actual reaction everyone else had. Oh, this guy wearing pink, whatever. Who's this dude, whatever. I heard the version. I'm like, oh, this guy snapped. And the crazy thing is, at the time, I think I had like 18,000 views on mine or whatever. He might have had 20,000. So I'm like, I don't know who this dude is, whatever. But you know, I think we're kind of, you know, similar in what's it called. But then I started listening to like more of his music, and I'm like, why is this guy so cocky? Who knows him? Who is this
Right.
guy? What's so special about him? You know what I mean? I'm like, I like how he raps, but I'm like, other than that, like, what has he done?
Right.
And but my favorite song of all time that I tell people is Free Download that he had.
Love it.
Free Download is my favorite song by him. That's what made me an instant fan right there, where I was like, that's it. This is my guy. I'm riding with him. But yeah, that's how it started technically. So
that's funny. That's funny that you were like going through like your search. It's great that Millie Beat did have like everybody was doing remixes, including people that should have never touched the beat at all.
At all.
At all. But yeah, I remember that too. Would that end up on an actual project? I can't remember. Or was that a Lucy? That was a Lucy, right?
His Millie freestyle?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was
no. That was on something. What was that on?
Death of the Mixtape Rapper.
That's what it was. Definitely Mixtape Rapper. That is what it's on.
Because it's not called a Millie freestyle. It's called Not a Musician. That's
what it is. That's right. Yep. That's right.
When I did see it on YouTube, it was titled Charles Hamilton Millie remix or freestyle or something like that, whatever. So I'm just like, I just figured he was just like a no name like me that wasn't signed. I'm like, well, I'm from Delaware. I somehow I got 18,000 views, whatever. This guy got 20. So I'm like, he's just grinding like me. Little did I know he was already signed to Interscope and all that. I'm like, shit, man.
That's dope though, because so I guess my introduction was, back in the day, man, there were multiple ways of getting music. iTunes was one way, and then there were others that were not necessarily the correct way of getting them. Fortunately for me, like, he wasn't selling music; he was giving away music for free. What did I run into? I think I ran into, it wasn't Brooklyn Girls. It wasn't that. It was like a random, it was Sonic the Hamilton.
Okay.
It was a Sonic the Hamilton song. And I was like, oh, okay. I like Sonic. Sonic's like my, in the Sega versus Nintendo war. I was a Sega kid.
Shirt, by the way, I see the shirt.
Had to do it. But yeah, I was like, okay, Sonic the Hamilton. Let's see what's going on here. And I was like, oh, he's rapping from the perspective of being Sonic. I was like, okay, cool. So like right then I'm like, all right, cool, let's see what it's about. And then just like the floodgates open. Like, I remember being freshman in college and just telling everybody, yo, this guy is gonna be the one. He's gonna be the guy, bro. Listen to his raps. Oh, they were telling me I was crazy. They're like, oh, he's okay, but he's not that great. Like, no. Y'all gotta understand. He's gonna be the one, bro. Oh, right. For 4 years, I would just push it. Every time he dropped a new mixtape, I was like, yo, you gotta listen to this. Gotta listen to this. Gotta listen to this. Yeah. That was Sonic Hamilton, and then I ended up getting Pink Lava Lamp right after. And then I went back and went through the whole Hamiltonization process or whatever. Right. So yeah, that was my introduction. How would you describe Charles Hamilton to somebody? His music, at least.
Oh man, you want the honest Mike answer, or do you want me to do the political Mike answer, or both?
Feel free to do whatever you need to do, bro.
All right, so I'll tell you. Well, let me take a swig real quick. That has nothing to do with me giving my answer, but I just had to.
Right, no, but it's always good to have a swig.
Right. So I'll say it like this. I've only had one person randomly ask me that. There's this girl I knew. It was when Charles came back, when he actually dropped Hamilton Charles. And I think I shared one of his songs or whatever, and I was sharing the project or whatever, say, hey, I've been, watching this guy for a minute, whatever. He finally got to debut his first album ever, and she probably heard like New York Raining or something like that, whatever. So, I like his music, whatever. And this was the dreaded question. For most for most fans, this is a great question. For us, it's a whole different thing. She said,
it's touchy.
Yeah, she said, where else can I hear his music at, or where should I start? And I'm like, So like, well, me, I'm like, do I do the original, like, hey, start from the beginning, like Death of the Mixtape Rapper? Should I tell her stay away from the cave tapes? I know Charles hates that, but it's like,
I know.
but that's what they call it, unfortunately, bro. But it's like, do I start with the cave tapes? Do I tell her to stay away from them? Because there's some people that actually became fans of those.
Yeah.
Like Austin's one of those fans, whatever. But it's one of those things where I didn't know where to really start her from, but like I was just giving her like certain songs she could listen to and everything. But when it comes to like describing Charles, it's crazy, man. Because like, okay, I got you. If I had to do it like in one word, I know you didn't ask for one word, but enigma. There we go. Enigma. Yeah. Because if you want me to describe him when he first came out, when he was, he was the arrogant, cocky 20-year-old that needed to prove himself still. It's like, yeah, he actually backs up his work. Like, I would say similar to Russ. I had the same feeling about Russ when I used to see him on like DJ Vlad interviews. And I'm like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him before. Right. Why is he talking so much about the business? And I've never heard him do anything, whatever. Yeah. But he's talking about his gold and platinum plaques, and he's independent and doing his own thing. So I'm like, okay, well, at least he knows what he's talking about, whatever. And Charles always knew what he was talking about too. But it's just the way he went about things that upset people. But I'm like, I'm the same way. I upset people some ways, the way I talk or whatever. Yeah. But if it comes down to older Charles, I guess you could say, still the same way. He's a little bit more reserved. But I'll say like this. He has his moments when he's stubborn, because he wants to do things his way. And it's like, well, you're not signed. You're unsigned right now. So you could do anything you want to do technically. But still a genius. He still knows what he's talking about. When he has to prove himself, like for example, when he got signed again, he knew that he couldn't go left, because he always said that. He always said, "Oh, I want to steer from going too far left or going too far from the course, whatever, going too goth, as he called it, whatever." But still a genius, because at the end of the day, me, you, and all the other fans, we know. Other people might not see it because they've seen him getting punched in the face. The Brianna video. They've seen all the crazy stuff when he was like, he like downtown? He tried to freestyle.
Serious Jones,
Serious Jones again, whatever. In the barbershop. It's like there's so many videos where like he's embarrassed himself, and I'm like, oh man, it's like there's like for every one good shining moment he has, there's like 3 other ones that he's done where he's embarrassed himself. But it's just like. He's an enigma. He's still a genius. He's still someone that people could learn from, regardless good or bad. But it's just Charles is Charles. Honestly, I hate to make it like that, but he's still someone that honestly he's influenced so many people, regardless if they want to admit it or not. It's one of those situations where when it comes to sampling, I'll say that. I never wanted to even sample, because like I said, I rap, but I never wanted to sample until I decided, you know what, Charles is doing it, so I could do it. You know what I mean? And I don't even get crazy into the chops doing the stuff that he does or Shalik does or whatever.
Yeah.
But like with me, I'm like, I want to say the song is Before I Go to the Store with My Girl. Could be wrong, but I feel like that's a song where literally whoever made the beat, because it was a Charles Hamilton tape where it was him and DJ Halo, Dope to Go. And literally the sample is NSYNC Bye Bye Bye, but it's like the beat slowed down and it's a simple loop. And they added kicks and drums. It's like a simple loop. And I'm like, bro, I can make beats. I can sample. If that's what it is, I can sample. And then like it's crazy because I've been sampling for like 10 years now. Like I started with like a Mortal Kombat beat I put on YouTube, and then like, oh, well, I don't want to say I'm a beat maker now, but like people are like, yo, man, you know how to? I'm like, bro, like I'm just trying to, do stuff that sounds good. That's literally all. So.
Yeah. And you said the best way to describe him. And it's just, it's crazy because like it's so simple and it's so basic, but Charles is Charles, bro. That's Charles is Charles. Like he's going to do things his way. And he thinks his way is the best way. And who are we to say that it isn't? You know what I'm saying? That's how like I have my thoughts and opinions on how I like his music or what music of his I like or how I feel like he should do, not should do, but the type of music I like from him.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, bro, like he's done thousands upon thousands of songs. So it's like, who am I to be like, this is the right way or this is the wrong way?
And not only that, he's actually been in these like label head meetings compared to everyone else that like, is a fan of him and has rapped and hasn't made it yet, whatever. So like he knows what, people want to listen to. It's just the fact that it might not be the stuff that he's making now currently or, recently, it might not be necessarily what we want to listen to, but there's an audience for everyone. That's what I learned because like I said, so I don't know if I told you the story or I told y'all the story in the group chat, whatever, but I always remember this when I asked the dreaded, like I said, Fight Club question of, number one, don't speak about Fight Club.
Right.
But I remember I asked in the Facebook group, I said, hey, if y'all could choose between having '08 Charles, where, he's making all these songs that, are crazy, he's getting all this attention, but we can't really speak to him how we do now versus 2012 Charles, where, he's making music at his own leisure and we can speak to him whenever, but he's getting trashed on. Which one would y'all rather pick? And I got thrown under the bus. Number one, Charles was like, yo, swear to God. So look, I think Charles was like the second person to comment on that. He's like, yo, don't be a dickhead. Swear to God, Charles commented and said, yo, don't be a dickhead or whatever. And then everyone was like, yo, man, you don't say that. You don't say that. And I'm like, what? And then apparently, I guess that was something that other people have said before, but it's just, how I won't say Charles is sensitive, but as an artist, you're sensitive about your art,
Sure.
But yeah, like after that, I'm like, okay, never do that again. But it's just one of those things where like you want the best for people, even though you might not even know what's best for them. And that's the thing I had to realize, because even with him and I'll say even with Asher Roth, because with Asher, he got big off of I Love College, but I seen an interview a while back because Scooter Braun was he was the I guess manager for him and Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get them to be on super big levels. Obviously, Justin got to that level, and Asher told him, I don't want to do that. I just want to chill and just make music. That's all I want to do. And I had to realize that might be what Charles wanted to do. Charles might not have, of course, he always talked about wanting to get a Grammy and everything, but so what? Other than that, he just wants to make his music and make it the way he wants to make it. Yeah. And that's what made it so much easier for me to accept everything that's going on with him. Cause I'm like, you know what? He's not quote unquote meant for the big time, and he doesn't want to be big time. He just wants to make music that people enjoys, and obviously he wants to get paid for it. But it's just like you have to find that perfect balance, and there's no right or wrong way to find that balance. You have to be happy with yourself at the end of the day. What's the point of having millions of plaques if the music's not made the way you want to make it, or the fans aren't perceiving it the way you want to perceive it? You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I agree. And that's yeah. Ah, man. I just feel like after it came a certain point after a while where I was like, you know what? I'd rather him just be in a good space and healthy and just, whatever the music comes from it, music comes from it. If it doesn't, I'll be content, because he's given me so much music that I can still go back to today. And it takes me back to when I first heard it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, he's given me everything I've needed thus far. Everything else right now is a bonus at this point.
Exactly. Let me ask you this. I don't know if you were there. I will say this. I remember Sega, shout out to Sega. He's one of the people in there in the group. He wanted me to take him to the show, and then something happened, because I don't know if he still lives in Delaware, but he lived in Delaware with me, whatever. But he didn't live in Dover. But I know BA was there, but I didn't necessarily meet BA, but I was sitting next to BA when the show happened. Did you actually go to SOBs when Charles had that show in 2015?
Nah, man, I wanted to, bro. I wanted to, but I think probably if it was 2015, That was probably, let me think, 2015. Was that before or after my son was born? My son's 8 now.
Woo! Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, man. So yeah, no, he was born at the time. So I was probably, he's like 1 or something. So I was probably kicking it.
I got you.
Yeah. So and like, but there have been a couple of times like that. It was that one. It was when, because Lupe is technically my number one or whatever.
Okay. Right.
And Charles is like right. It's like it'd be like here, and then like Charles is like right there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then when they both had shows. Like Charles was on the show with Lupe. I was like, all right, listen, if anybody just wants to fund this trip real quick, I'm out there immediately. You know what I'm saying? So those are a couple shows that I missed, man. But yeah, I wanted to do the SOB show. How was that?
Honestly, it was great because here's the thing. There was a show he had in 2012. You know, he was still doing the cave tape thing, whatever. And I wanted to go to that show. The issue was I had to work, and the issue was I had to work the day of that show, where it wasn't like I had to work when the show was going on. I could have traveled and made it out, but the morning after, I had to work too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't think that's how it's supposed to be or whatever. But this, how I remember the 2012 show went, whatever. People told me it was good, but Charles was doing like more experimenting and all that type of stuff, whatever. And I don't think that would have been the show for me. Not saying it was a bad show because everyone said they loved it, whatever.
Right.
But it was just one of those things where that was when a lot of stuff was going on because I don't know if you remember, 2012 was like I said, he was heavy into the cave tapes and recording how he wanted to record or whatever. Because if people don't remember, he was recording not with a microphone, he was recording with his MacBook. And he was recording like if y'all was the Ustream days, this is not Instagram Live, nothing like that. This is the Ustream
freaking Ustream. Holy shit.
Right, it was the Ustream days or whatever. So like he was recording, and we used to watch him, you know, on his MacBook, recording with no microphone or whatever, just recording into the actual speakers of the MacBook or whatever. But it was during those times or whatever where he was recording his music, how he recorded it and whatnot. And everyone said it was a good show. Everyone said they enjoyed it. But the 2015 show, I think it blew it out of proportion just because it was more prepared. It was more professional and everything. And it was one of those things where I had to work that day, but I had a different job. And it was one of those things where I realized in life at that point, life is not black and white. Either you're gonna do something or you're not. And I was like, you know what? I don't know when he's gonna ever perform again. Yeah. So I called my job, like, hey, I'm calling out, whatever. They say, hey, okay, what are you calling out for? I'm like, hey, I can't make it today, whatever. They say, okay, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm getting written up anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went out there to New York, and it was on the fly. So like from here to New York was like 3 hours, 3.5 hours or whatever. Yeah. So I said, forget it, I'm going. So I went and had the best time. He performed his new songs and everything that he was trying to do on the album, and then he closed the show with Brooklyn Girls. It was amazing. This is I guess you say the starstruck moment I had because being a fan of his since like 2008, he knows who is who technically because he got big, he fell off, and there's a couple of us that were still there. And like I said, there's still a Facebook group where he was in the Facebook group and commenting, whatever. So there's a handful of people I could shout out, whatever, but you know who you are. If you were in the bunker, you were in the lounge, or if you were in the Star Chaser Central, you know what I mean? So
ATT.
Yeah, Kanye Tiller, you know what I mean? There you go. So look, what happened was he performed the show and everything, and then he dapped some people up, took some pictures with a few people, and then he dipped out. And part of me was like, man, I really wanted to try and meet him, but I'm like, honestly, I got to see him. That's all I care about. Yeah. And then he actually came back, and like the show was over basically, but he walked around SOBs just saying what's up to people or whatever. And he was getting close to me, but I didn't want to run up on him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, like we're literally like almost the same age. Like he's 2 years older than me, or a year and a half. So I'm not gonna run up on him like, oh my God. So I'm like, hey, I already had my idea up. I'm yo, hey, what's up, man? I'm Mike, blah blah. I'm so and so.
Yeah.
This was the starstruck moment I had. So look, I was waiting for him to come up because he was coming my way or whatever. So he looked at me or whatever, and I was about to say, yo, what's up, man? And he said, Mike, yo, what's up, bro? And
Nice.
I'm like, he knows who I am.
Nice.
Oh shit! We dapped each other up, whatever. And he's like, "Yo, how you been, man?" I'm good. How you been? He's like, "I'm good." So and we took a picture together and whatnot. And I'll never delete that picture. I don't care what happens, but it's like, dude, like just
That's
I remember that, whatever, because it's just like, yo, like no matter what he makes nowadays, or whatever, I'm like the stuff that he used to make, like you said, it's just like that's what I remember. And like he's made his music, obviously he's making his music for free, whatever. He's always put out tapes, no matter what, always putting out tapes or whatever. So
Yep.
I'll quote it like this. I think it's on the Pink Lava Lamp or whatever, where it's like the stuff he's made recently, I haven't heard of it, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. Nice.
So the most stuff I've heard recently, the most new stuff he has, I haven't heard it, but it doesn't matter because I appreciate him regardless. So that's my boy for life, for real. So
Absolutely, man. I love it. We love Charles, and that's a fact.
yes, sir.
Let me get you out here. I like to do like some fast paced, some questions for the guests to answer.
Okay.
What I'm saying? Based on their hobbies and their likes. So
Okay.
first and foremost, give me your Mount Rushmore 4 wrestlers. Who are they?
All right, so we're doing this real quick. Honestly, I'm gonna say the 4 people we talked about earlier, and not in no particular order, but Rock, Stone Cold, Bret, Shawn. Boom.
Nice. They get increasingly harder. Next one is give me your 4 favorite Charles Hamilton tapes projects.
Ooh, tapes. Damn. Once again, not no particular order, but Pink Lava Lamp has to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Tapes. I'm gonna give you Sonic the Hamilton. I'll put that on there. It's you're killing me on that because there's so many tapes he has. He has so many songs, many tapes. And this is not going to be at least the next 2. They might not be that crazy accurate, whatever, because there might be something else I'm thinking of and I'm missing right now. I'm gonna say the next 2. Not the L Word 2. I'm sorry,
Okay.
L Word 2.
Number 2. Okay.
Okay, L Word 2, and then the last one. What's something I could say? Honestly, this is technically not. I'm gonna say Hamilton Charles to put that on there because at least that's a album he has. That's a project he has that you can say, hey, debut album. So I'm gonna put that on there too. So
okay, nice. All right, now we're gonna make it even harder.
Mm-hmm.
I already know one of the songs because you already kind of like you let that go. Give me your 4 Charles Hamilton songs, essential Charles Hamilton songs.
All right. So so I won't even put a free download on there. I mean, of course, that's definitely what I need or whatever. But what is it? Brazilian Crying Season.
Okay.
Okay, Brazilian Crying. That's on Staff Development. First one.
Is that Staff Development?
Staff. Yep. First one.
Yeah.
It is. I promise it is. If it's not, shoot me down. But Brazilian Crying Season. That's one. It's another one that's on. There's a lot of stuff that's on Staff Development.
Staff Development is underrated.
Yeah, it is. So that's honestly when I wanted to name, but I'm like, I don't know. But shout out to I'll give that runner up Staff Development number 1. So what's it's something else that's on there, whatever. There's Butterfly Effect that's on there too.
Yeah.
Party of 5 that's on Staff Development.
Party 5 is dope. Party 5 is really dope.
5 is on there or whatever. And I'm gonna throw like a random out there. What's something random that people won't pick up, whatever. Oh man, you're killing me. You're killing me because I'm trying to think of like all the names of songs and whatnot. Give me a second.
It's tough, man. There's just again, there's so many songs over the years, bro.
It's so many songs, and then like I know I'm gonna forget something. Oh wait. Uh, this is on the second the L word 2.
Mhm.
I want to say it's called I want to say it's Jessica. I want to say the song's called Jessica, whatever. I know it's a
Blog site, blog.
yeah,
What's it called? I know what you're talking about.
yes, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
that song. It's the Barry White sample where he says you want to leave a comment on your blog, whatever.
Yeah.
That song.
Oh, love that song. Another underrated gem.
That song. There we go.
All right. And then this is my favorite one that I always ask people. It's always the toughest one.
Okay.
All right. It's the deserted island question. So you're allowed to have one movie, one TV show.
Okay.
You're a gamer, so we'll go one video game, one meal. It means it comes every day on the island.
Right.
And then one album. Those are your 5 things you need.
All right. So list them all for me again, like one by one, and I'll give you the answers to them.
Perfect. One movie.
Friday, the first one. That's my favorite movie of all time.
Okay, nice. All right.
And that's one of the movies I can never get tired of, ever.
Nice, like that.
Okay.
One TV series.
TV series. Oh man. It's crazy because I really don't even watch TV like that. Like when it comes to like TV, like YouTube is my TV nowadays, whatever. But let's say TV series. Honestly, I'm gonna just say it because it's an OG show I used to watch back in the day, and it's like as old as we are. The Simpsons, because it's The Simpsons, whatever.
Oh, you've had plenty of content, that's for sure.
Yep.
All right. One video game.
So the answer I want to say is not a quote unquote real video game. It's I usually say a mod or a made up game, whatever. It's called Streets of Rage Remake, whatever, where they took they took everything from like 1, 2, and 3 and made it everything that it was supposed to be or whatever. These people called Bomber Games.
Okay.
The game got so popular that Sega contacted them and said, "Hey, you need to shut this down. This is our this is our stuff." They said this is our stuff, and nah, bro, I'm sorry, but nah, you can't do that. But if I had to say like a real game, I'll say Streets of Rage 2 then. So, but I'll say Streets of Rage 2.
I would have told Sega, y'all not Nintendo. You're not allowed to say stuff like that to me. Nintendo can do that. Nintendo is quick to shut some shit down. But Sega, you lost the war.
Yeah, and they'll see you for like 60 million where you're like, yo, I'm broke. They're like, I don't care.
Yeah, like that's facts. That is facts. Okay, and one meal. So, and when I say meal, like let's go appetizer, main, dessert, and a drink if you want.
Okay. Honestly, the drink doesn't matter to me. I'll just get like a water or something like that, whatever. Appetizer, I don't know, French fries, something like that, whatever, something simple.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, nah. I'm gonna say like bacon cheddar fries. Can just be a little fancy?
Fancy up, yeah.
Extra calories. Give me a heart attack sooner so I could die sooner. Let me stop. Let me stop because I'll make jokes like that. And people are like, "Oh, is he okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." But
no, I'm not.
No, but let's say bacon cheddar fries.
Okay.
The actual meal. Chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
Why not? Like how most people they're like, yo, I hate spaghetti and chicken Alfredo and fettuccine Alfredo, whatever. I haven't had it enough. My family has made spaghetti a good amount of times in the pot, the big ass pot, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never had it enough to the point where I'm like, yo, I'm tired of seeing this. Like,
sure.
So let me get chicken Alfredo. Alfredo. I'll go with that. So.
All right. Any dessert?
Dessert. I guess a regular slice of cake or something like that. Nothing special. It could be like a slice of vanilla cake or chocolate cake, nothing in particular, just like a slice of cake, whatever. So I'm not really like a dessert guy, to be honest.
I was about to say something. I'm not a sweets guy. Like if it's like I have a hankering like every now and again, but it's like, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm the same way where I'm like, like if it's there, I'll take it. But for the most part,
like,
I'm not gonna just, oh yeah, I have to get something after this. I'm like, honestly, I'm full. I'm ready to go. Let me pay and tip. By the way,
I will
tip,
say, yeah, no, we're not those type of black people.
Yeah. Tip your bartenders, tip your servers, tip whoever you got to tip, because I'm tired of that. Like people to do that and then they wonder why they get shitty service, and I'm like, bro, that's
like, no.
I wonder.
I'm giving you at minimum 15. Usually you get 18 to 20.
Right.
Okay, and then final one is one album.
Pink Lava Lamp. I'm gonna say that. I know it's technically not an album, but
I count it. Like, that's fine.
Charles considers it an album, so I'm gonna consider it an album. Whatever. He considers everything a project, whatever. But like, if that's the one thing I had to listen to, easily.
Yeah. I always say Pink Lava Lamp, This Perfect Life. Those are albums. Like, I don't care. I understand what he's saying, but like, those are albums.
Well, you already know, like, This Perfect Life was actually supposed to be an album, but
the real album, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was that whole Dilla thing he was doing.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh man. Man.
Real quick. I'm still, I guess you'd say, heartbroken about this, whatever. So my favorite song on the Pink Lava Lamp is what is it? Now I gotta think of the name of it. The Cookout. That was
Pink Lava Lamp.
Charles hates that song. That, like, when it comes to that song, he said it on Twitter like 7 years ago, whatever. He's like, yo, he hates that song because
I'm trying to remember. Cookout is the one with dun it. Is that the one?
Yeah, it's the why you gotta be watching me, I'm just my thing.
Yeah.
So it's like a I forget, I think it's like a Bootsy Collins or stylistic sample or something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a smooth groove, whatever. But I was so upset, whatever, because I'm like, bro, it's like one of the smoothest songs on the album, whatever. And there was like a there's like a March Madness bracket back in the day of like the Pink
Lava all his songs, right? Yeah.
And then like I remember like that got like knocked out instantly. I'm like, yo, who's knocking out the Cookout, bro? And I compare it to other songs. Yeah, I get it, but I'm like, it's still a good song, whatever. But he was like, I hate that song. And then like I had to understand because and I think in the third verse he says, I can't feel my face, I'm so high. Feeling like it's like 12 degrees outside. He was that's when he was on heroin and all that type of shit, whatever. You know what I mean? So like, that song brings him back to like a negative space.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking like, I'm riding my car. It's like, yo, this John's crazy. And he's thinking about, he's probably like scratching and itching and whatnot, all going wow. Yo, this is a horrible time for me, whatever. In 2006 or whenever he recorded it, 2006, 2007. And I'm just like, you know what? I respect it. I get why you hate it, whatever. But I'm just like, just like, but you made the song. It was fire. I'm not trying, tell you like, but damn, bro, sheesh.
I lean towards. I'm on both of the sides. Like, again, I think Pink Lava Lamp is good from beginning to end, so I can listen to it from front to back. That's fine. I do think of all the songs, it's probably my least favorite. I will say that. I will say that's probably my least favorite. I will say that's probably my least favorite. I know a lot of people think like Latte isn't great, but I'm like, Latte is amazing. Did you hear the bars he's dropping on that? What?
Oh, yeah. Bro, what did he say that killed me? And it killed me in a good way. He said, I can't even afford a Pepsi. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, come on, man.
He can't. Yeah, he's told you how broke he is. He can't even afford a Pepsi. And this is in 2006. When, a Pepsi probably was like $1.50 or something like that. Yeah. He could have been talking about a can of Pepsi that was like 50 cents. Yeah. He can't afford a can of Pepsi, bro. Like, geez. Me personally, probably my least favorite song on there or whatever is probably I like the song, but like I said, I like all the songs, but probably Live Life to the Fullest. That's probably one of the songs where I'm like, if I had to skip something or whatever, I'd probably skip that one. Even though like I don't really skip anything on there or whatever. Right. But that's probably my song that I'd skip.
Yeah. Okay, so that you answer those pretty swiftly. I'm actually impressed by that. Usually people take a little bit longer to
I
kind of get
think.
the answers out, man.
Well, just to let you know, like with me, most of the jobs I had, I've dealt with customer service, being a cashier, whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm in the public space all the
Yeah.
time, and it's one of the things where I guess that's where I get my patience from, or even
Yeah.
anything from, because I hate it. But a lot of people are like, "Oh man, you dealt with that really well," and I'm like, I actually was being very condescending in that
Yeah.
conversation. If you didn't pick that
But
up,
they
they're like,
don't know. They can't tell it.
yeah, but it's one of the things where you gotta kill them with kindness, and if you don't actually say what you wanted to say, or whatever, but you did it in a nice way, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, he said this. It's like, what did he say? Well, he said have a nice day, but he said it in a weird way. It's like, so he told you have a nice day, and you're mad about that. So it's just like that's what happens when you work in retail, or you work in customer service. You learn how to you learn how to stick and maneuver. So
Yeah. That's fact.
so.
That's fact. All right, man. Here at Clueless Vino, man, we like to rate our drinks to let the people know, should they drink this or should they not, man. I feel like this is a regular drink, but we're still gonna rate it because that's just what we do. So, what would you give Captain and Coke, man, out of 5 glasses?
I'm gonna give it 5. I'm gonna give it 5 because
Yeah.
here's my thing. We talked about it earlier. It's a regular drink, but it's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's not an overrated classic. Like, I feel like you can never go wrong with the Captain and Coke, because we talked about it earlier about oh, I don't know if you've seen this. If I share, oh, I did share it, but people were talking about, oh, people are still out here drinking vodka and blah blah
I saw
blah.
that
Whatever.
shit. I was like, what? Well, first of all, vodka is not the enemy. Let's get that out the way now. Vodka is the least of your worries. If there was a top 10 most wanted list, it's not cracking top 5. I'm sorry. It's just not.
It's
Tequila and
not.
gin are there. They're up there just battling. Oh, and Hennessy. I don't know who decided that black people decided they're drinking Hennessy. I don't like
Right.
that. Like, I want to meet that person and kind of slap them probably.
Because that's my issue. Like, I'll drink Hennessy if Hennessy, like, for example, if Hennessy's there, or whatever, I'll drink it. But there's so many people that will be like, "Yo, I'm drinking Hennessy and blah blah blah." I'm like, okay, cool. If you want to drink that, fine. But drink Hennessy because you want to drink Hennessy. Don't drink it because of the name, and then you're
Right.
complaining, "Yo, my drinks were like $12 a drink." Don't drink Hennessy. Like,
Yeah.
learn how to go out. Like I was like, we didn't go into it too much or whatever, but like when I had to figure out what I wanted to drink,
Mm.
uh this was my first drink that I started with because I heard one of my brothers talking about it. He was drinking Long Island's, which is like the worst
Oh
first
my
drink that
God. What?
I swear to God. Because look, I didn't know what to order, and he randomly said Long Island, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get a Long Island. I didn't know it's like 5, 6 different
Oh
drinks
my
in there.
God.
But here's the thing though, like I said, I started off slowly where I'm just drinking one of them. So I go out, drink one of them, that's fine. So that it helped me out, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and then I got older, I'm like, I really don't like them that like that. Because you
Yeah.
ask them, yo, do you like them? I'm like, it's okay, because I don't like anything. But
Right.
it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, when it comes to like I said, tequila, because like I told you before, anytime I've drunk it,
It's fight time.
something bad always happens.
Yeah, it's fight time.
Something bad always happens. But like, at least it's one of those things where, like, place a certain vodkas or whatever in a certain bracket. Like I said before, Pop Off and Crystal Palace, they're the bottom of the bottom.
Right.
One of my brothers, he religiously drinks McCormick's. That's bottom shelf. McCormick's is bottom shelf. I don't recommend it for anybody or whatever. But if you're on a budget and you're okay with it, drink it. But
Yeah.
when we're going to like Grey Goose and Tito's and stuff like that, whatever, it's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. But it's one of the things where I think Captain Coke will never be overrated. It's like, hey, if you like rum or you want to start off with something simple, because when I started off with drinking, people weren't giving me simple stuff. I remember someone tried to give me a car bomb. Swear to God, someone tried to give me a car bomb and knew I didn't drink. They said, "Yo, you got to drink the whole thing, bro." I'm like, "What?"
No, you gotta ease into drinking, bro. It's not like that's not how this works. You have to ease in it. You can't just be like, oh, we're doing shooters and bombs. Like, no. Let me find something. Let me find a liquor I like first, and then let's build off of that.
Right. So, but I'll give it a 5 out of 5, honestly. You know what I mean? And I hate to sound biased, but I'm like, I don't think you can go wrong with that. If you don't like rum, that's fine. But hey, I think this is a simple drink that people can start off with. And if that doesn't, cleanse your palate, then you can say, hey, let me move on to something, that's why I would say, okay, if you don't like Captain, let's try Jack. If you don't like Jack, then try brandy. Try brandy. But let's say if you're not a dark drinker, then vodka. I'll instantly say let's go to vodka.
I mean, I think it's the most versatile thing you can drink. Vodka is like it goes with so many different things.
So much more.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Captain and Coke, man, it's a classic drink. I'm usually a bourbon ginger guy, but this is very similar. So I'd give it like a 4.75, honestly. Because I mean, it's a you can't go wrong. Like there's nothing inherently wrong about the drink. Like, first of all, it's Coca-Cola, which is very superior to Pepsi. Let's just get that out the way immediately. Super superior to Pepsi. And
I gotta ask, for you personally, what makes this superior? Because I will say this, when it comes to alcohol, it is, because I can't think of, like, let me get a Captain to Pepsi. I don't think that.
No one has, only psychopaths asked for mixed with Pepsi. Only psychopaths. That's it. No one actually does that. I think for me, Pepsi is sweet, right? Pepsi has this sweeter taste to it, and that I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where people do a lot of different things with Coca-Cola, like cleaning like engines and shit. That concerns me slightly. It concerns me slightly. However, that shit goes good with all the liquors. So it's like, like, you know what I'm saying? So
I can see. Only reason I asked that is because for me, what happened is so my dad drinks Pepsi, whatever. So growing up in the household, it was Pepsi everything, whatever. So I was cool with that. And then one day I went to the store. I'm like, I've never tried Coca-Cola. Let me try Coke. And I liked it too. And it was funny because I don't want to say neither of my brothers tried it, ever, but like at that time they never tried it. And I'm like, I like both. I'm like, and like I go either or, but like I said, when it comes to actually mixing drinks, of course, I'm going with Coke. But I remember I noticed, for me personally, I don't know how it was for you, but being a African American male, I noticed, I'm like, yo, why do I always see black people drinking Pepsi and white people drinking Coke? I'm like, is there a thing there? You know what I mean? So, and there kind of was, because literally a job I used to work at CVS, I had a black manager at one point, whatever, and I said, hey, let me ask you something real quick. He's like, yeah, what's up? Coke or Pepsi? He's like, oh, Pepsi, of course. He's like, Coke's for white people.
Hey, I'm not sure if he was talking about the soda.
Whoa. Hey, he didn't say, we didn't specify it on
we can't be too sure. So like,
I can't be too sure. But I because literally the I'll say context wise, it was a white woman buying a bunch of Coca-Cola sodas, whatever. And then I just randomly asked him about Coke or Pepsi or whatever. So I was talking about the sodas. So whatever he was talking about it might have been something else. But me personally, it was just something I noticed or whatever. And he's like, it was like that in my family too, whatever. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me, whatever. I was like, it might just been my dad just like preferred Pepsi. So
interesting. Damn. Okay, that's nuts.
That might be something you got to think about, because like I said, over where you're at or whatever, like I said, Virginia, right? Might be something different. You know what I mean? So don't quote me on that, whatever. And don't take that as, oh, that's just Delawareans. You know what I mean? They just like Pepsi over Coke. It's like, nah, it's just what I've seen. I'm like, I've seen more black people drink Pepsi than Coke, but that's just talking about the sodas. Just literally drinking sodas.
Definitely the sodas. Strictly the sodas.
Strictly not mixing. So
I might have to do it. I might have to do my own Pepsi challenge. But thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Over the years, man, we've had great interactions, great conversations. You were able actually to tell me why Swiss Beats actually blocked me.
I forgot about I forgot about that. Oh,
So
hey, real quick. No, you just reminded me because one of my boys, it was like a couple years ago. He was like, "Yo, why did Goldberg block me?" And I looked up my boy's name where he was basically talking shit about, "Oh man, you ended Bret Hart's career, you piece of shit, whatever." And I'm like, it was like 5 different tweets or whatever. I'm like, he probably blocked you off of one of these tweets or whatever, bro. I'm just saying, like honestly, if I seen this shit, I'd be like, yo, fuck this guy, whatever. You know what I mean? So, nah. So I completely forgot about that. So, yo, but seriously, thank you for inviting me because, like I said, I watch your other, well, not watch, but I listen to your other, podcasts or whatever. Two Tall Boys, right?
yeah.
Literally when I'm at work, because I gotta cover the gas station at my job, whatever, and I gotta pass the time somehow, and y'all be having like hour and a half, 2 hour, episodes, whatever. I'm like, I'm just listening to this and vibe out. So seriously.
Yeah, man. No problem, man. I've been thinking, over the past couple of months, I'm like, I want to do some type of Charles Hamilton content. And I've been thinking about trying to do like just going back, like going from the beginning and trying to listen back to all the different albums and just like do like, not even long discussions, like 20, 30-minute discussions. So,
Right.
I'm thinking about trying to do that with a couple of the guys. And, I've always had you in mind because, you're one of the dudes who's an OG, who knows from the beginning. So,
Yes, sir.
As I start to kind of flesh that idea out, I might hit you up, man, so we can continue to do this type of thing, bro, for sure.
Oh, let me know, of course, because my thing is this: real rap. This is my first time ever doing a podcast, and believe it or not, I've had multiple people hit me up like, "Yo, have you ever thought about starting your own podcast?" I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Oh, you had the voice for it, and this and that." And then the fact you hit me up, and I'm like, "Yo, this must be a sign, whatever," because people are telling me to do it, whatever. And of course, it's not my podcast, whatever. But it's this thing where like, yo, people are like, "Oh, you should do something, in that realm or whatever."
Yeah.
So you know what, let me try it out because it's gonna be funny because whenever this comes out, there's this girl that hit me up like maybe 2 weeks before. She'll probably see this like, "Yo, you were supposed to go on mine first," and I'm like, "You weren't serious about it, so that's your fault."
All right. I just want to let her know I don't want no smoke. He just
No, she probably won't see it, but if she does, I'm gonna tell her I want all the smoke, whatever. So it doesn't matter. I'm gonna take all the smoke. So I'm responsible for everything that happens on this whole job. So
great. I'm cool with that. You'll be the shield. This is the part where I let the guest man give out any socials, anything they want to promote, and then any closing remarks, any closing words for the people. So the floor is yours, brother.
All right, got you. All right, so for anyone that does want to follow me on any social media apps, if you want to see like random tweets, random posts, funny skits, and you want to listen to some music that might be decent to you, I don't know what you're into, on Twitter, name is Mike D Jackson, Mike DEE Jackson, and on Instagram it's the Mike Jackson, all together. Other than that, no really closing remarks. I just want to say thank you because you're a homie, you're a real one. We've never met in real life, whatever, but we're still friends to the end. You feel me? To everyone else, if we cross paths, hey, say what's up. If not, it's all good. Regardless, it's all love, no matter what. So,
yeah, man. We gotta. One day, I feel like one day I'm gonna find my way to Dover, and we'll hit.
No. What I tell you? You weren't. You haven't been paying attention this whole time. I told you, don't come to Dover. Like,
but see that's the thing, bro. I like going to like the really weird bars. Like let's just have a weird time. Let's just go to the random bars and just like get like crazy, shut it down just for no reason. I'm that guy. I'm that weirdo. I just like doing that.
All right, so I'll say this, whatever. I'll warn you right now. If you ever did come to Dover somehow, whatever, I would tell you, especially now because it's summertime, because everyone's going out to the beach or they're going anywhere else. Don't expect nothing. I was like, yo, if you want to, don't expect, yo, for real, don't expect nothing. And I know it's double negative, like, oh, he means expect something. No, don't expect nothing. I'm not even gonna say don't expect anything. Don't expect nothing. Like if you're going out to hang out and chill and vibe and drink whatever, and we could talk like this, fine.
Yeah.
But you're like, yo, I mean, you know, you're not going to be like that type of guy. But yo, if you're like, yo, man, it's dead in here. I'm like, we just talked for like an hour and a half, and I told you that it's dead and over, bro. It's dead and over. So like, what do you expect? I wasn't joking about that. I'm not no funny stuff. Like it just be dead and over. So but no, like,
bro, I am married with about to have 2 kids. I don't need a lot of excitement. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't need a lot of excitement. I'm straight.
So nah, but what I will say is this: anytime like I tell people, I'm like, oh, if you're that type of person, whatever, because I haven't gone out on the weekdays, you know what I mean? But it's the one thing for like, there's times where I go out and I'm like, yo, you know, it's a cool environment, it's chill, whatever. So yo, we could go out, we could drink, whatever. I just hate when I invite people out like that, and then they're like, yo, man, it ain't no bitches here, it ain't no. I'm like, what did I just tell you, bro? I'm like, yo, you gotta go out to Blasi, or it's too far. I'm like, then stay here. It's too whack. It's all right, bro. I'm like, all right, you gotta make your mind up, one or the other, this or that. Pick a hand.
I'm gonna get out to Delaware. We gonna kick it one day, bro. We definitely gonna kick it one day for sure.
I got you, man. Hey, like I said, you got me on the social medias or whatever, you know what I mean? Anytime you gotta plan something out, let me know in advance or whatever. If I gotta take time off, whatever, I'll try to take time off, whatever. So
yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Be sure to like the Clueless Vino podcast page, man. Go and follow the page. Be sure to subscribe to Clueless Creative on YouTube. That's where all the video will be. That's where this video will be. If you're on your streaming services, give me a 5-star rating. Helps with the algorithms. Yeah, man. Just again, thank you to Mike. But most importantly, don't forget to drink up, man.
I got the juice, don't need no proof. 100 like the rum, I drink that got me over you. And all your nonsense, we all subject to. I found my lane and mind my business like I'm supposed to do. Let's have a toast for all the obstacles that got us here. I put my glass up in the air to stimulate the cheers. Not because we made it, but because we making it. I savor the moment, the bouquet forever, evident. Yeah. In my realm, I watch the times go by. I got the world in my hands, but I can't tame the sky. Dare I try, I might lose my mind. But it'll be all good after I'm done sipping this wine. Gather around people, it's about that time.